What's going on, everybody? Today I want to test out class change and all of the various new events that have kind of entered the game, as well as the platinum crest change and how all that looks like. We're going to do it on the main account, so if something goes wrong, I'm just going to blame Blizzard, but let's get into it. All right, so before we go and risk it all by class changing my main account, I've noticed that 82% of you are not subscribed. If you do enjoy the content you watch regularly, I really appreciate that. Helps me create more content by making my channel more appealing to the advertisers out there. So really appreciate it. And let's go risk it all with this class change. All right, so we're over here on the main account. We're going to go to the Selene's Basilica, and we're going to go to the Shifting Flames right there, and that should get us to the class change. Now let's go ahead and read the overview real quick here. This should give us the rules. So we can recustomize our appearance the first time we change. The first time we change, our Paragon points will be reset. Okay, all of our social group memberships are retained. We are granted a new set of gear for our class. Now this new set of gear supposedly has the exact same stats, but none of the legendary essences and none of the set item effects. So we'll have to see that live. Then we have the class-specific cosmetics and gear will no longer be able to be equipped, but it goes into your inventory and you can store it for later if you ever want to swap back. And then the Battleground leaderboard position will be transferred to your new class, and the Challenge Rift leaderboard position will be lost, but your Challenge Rift progress will be retained. I'm not sure how valid that last one is, which makes me concerned over all of them. If you look at the Necro here, we can see McCree here used to be John Souls. They have their leaderboard position on the leaderboards for Necro, and if we click on them, you can see they're a Demon Hunter now. So not quite sure how much that actually applies, but overall, we're gonna have to see what happens to the class change. So we're gonna go to class change. I'll just pick some random one. We'll pick Wizard, I guess. Something that's like completely different from Crusader. So let's go ahead and just pick up the Wizard here and see. We can obviously customize our appearance and do all the gear previews and things like that. I'm not going to do a whole lot of that because it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to stay a Wizard for now. And you can see, bound to your current class and cannot be worn after this class change. Would you like to continue the Ghost of Ashwold and the Bloodsworn cosmetics? So I'm going to class change, and we're going to see if we keep the cosmetics. And I was correct in assuming that the Battle Pass cosmetics are, in fact, class bound and not account bound, which is a little unfortunate. But so we're at a Wizard now. That's pretty cool. We have all the Wizard skills, all of them unlocked. We have class change successful. And it looks like we got a whole new set of rules. So existing class specific can replace from new equipment. Changing to a new class to reset your Paragon points. Oh, so it's just all the same. But if we look at the Challenge Rift leaderboards, I didn't kind of post a score yet, but there's all my legendary gear, including some that I identified previously, as well as we have our set items, but they're reservists, rather, and they don't have any set of item effect. These legendary items, they don't have any legendary item effects either, but they have my bonus stats, they have my rank, and they have the exact combat rating. Previously, I was 3177. There we go, 3177. My damage and my life is just absurdly low. I wonder why my damage and life is absurdly low. I'm not quite sure on that one. So if we just click here, yeah, not exactly quite sure why my damage and life is so much lower than previous. 2700. Okay, maybe it's because my Paragon tree has not been filled out. Let's go ahead and fill it out real quick and I'll come right back. So I just filled out my Paragon trees and had exactly how it was before, and we're still only at 3,300 and 42,000 respectively. This is very, very strange. Let me just try to pull off a legendary gem here and then re-equip it. Let's just see if anything changes. No, so these gear pieces are absurdly low compared to my previous ones. I'm really just not sure why it's so much lower than previous. Perhaps it's just because of the legendary gear that I actually had is just so much lower. But if we click here, all the damage looks like it is exactly the same. So I really just don't understand why I have so much less damage. I really just don't know where that's coming from. But we have most of our combat rating, combat rating is the exact same. Our damage is lower. Maybe it's just because of the class itself. But yeah, so everything seems to be working very simplistically. I'm gonna go check over our legendary essences and see if anything is actually the same, or if we've gotten any. I assume we have absolutely zero, but at least our legendary gear in the slots that we had legendary gear is legendary, so that we have the same stats. We just don't have any of the legendary essences, and we can check out here. Yep, we have none of these ones, and then yep, so none of them. We could see all the way through. No legendary essences unlocked. But let's go see and swap back and see what it's like. Now, I'm not quite sure if we will get our legendary essences back. What I want to test is class changing to like Wizard, for example, and the next week class changing to Barb, and then coming back and class changing back to Wizard or back to Barb, and see if we maintain our progress across multiple classes. Let's go ahead and revert our class here and see what happens. So reverting it back, and we are back to Crusader, hopefully. Yep, reverting back to class change back to the Crusader. And let's see, class change. Back to the Crusader. I am a little concerned here at our damage and life numbers. I hope it's going to be back to what I had previously. Let's see. Okay, cool. So we're back to the Crusader. We have very placeholder gear. Our Paragon points are the exact same. Our skills, everything looks the same. And we have this piece of gear. So we're going to go ahead and transfer all of our gear back over to what it was previously. And let's see. So all of that is back to what it should be. And then we had a couple of set items. So we're going to go ahead and equip those. And there we go, transfer that. And where is our amulet? Okay, there we go. And then we have boots. There was a set of boots here. There we go. So everything's back to what it was before. And if we look at our damage numbers, why do we have 3,346 damage? I'm not quite sure. Our gear is just so much worse from previous. That's a little concerning. We had way more damage before. Let's just check here. We can loot that, but let's just go look at our members here and look at someone who's very similar to me. Let's go look at DM, check out his damage numbers. If we just check out here, 5,869,000 life, and we just check here across the board, he's got about a little bit less resonance than I do, and a little bit less combat rating than I do, but for some reason I have half his damage numbers, which is absurd. I don't know where all my damage went, so that is very concerning. Because I'm gonna have to figure that out and come back to you all, because I have no idea where all my damage went. Part of me thinks that it's the legendary items or gems, because that's what it would probably be like as a free to play. But if I just equip or unequip and equip the gear back, damage still remains the same overall. So I'm very, very concerned. So I went ahead and relogged, and we're gonna see if that changed anything. Okay, it did. It was just a visual bug. Very, very concerned at that point. You can see my damage at 5,733, 71k. That is much more like what my class should be. And then we're going to check out the essence transfer, and you can see all of them are the same except for the new ones that are into the game. So very, very smooth system overall. It looks like it was just a visual bug, and that's okay. So another thing we wanted to check out is the new crafting for the Eternal Legendary Crests. Let's see if we can find it here. There it is. And we get just an internal legendary crest, which is really, really cool. Now, some people were asking what's the difference between this one and this one. Well, we really can't say, because it says unbound. This one is also unbound. So they're both able to be sold. One is going to be, they're basically the same process, right? You run the rift, you get a random legendary gem, 1 to 5. Same with the crafting system. We do not know how powerful the crafting system is, so we'll have to test that over months. I'd recommend you just do the Eternal Legendary Crest every time, because we do not know what the crafting rates are like. Now let's check out the Crest Merchant here. We should see the Platinum one. Okay, perfect. So now we have the Platinum one. This one should always be purchased. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, but you're just gonna get a 1-star and you're gonna be worse off than usual. However, if you've not seen a previous video on my video talking about the real costs of Diablo Immortal, in that video I go over the entire value of a crest, and the average value on our server comes to the about 3,700 for a legendary crest, because of the ability to sell all of the gems, as well as averaging out what you can get from each of the options. Remember, the percentage chance are 75% for a 1-star, 20% for a 2-star, and 4.5% for a 5-star. On average, you're going to about 3,700 platinum, including taxes. If you're not including taxes, about 4.2K. So very, very valuable there. Always should be purchased whenever you get a chance, especially for your free-to-play out there. That's like 2K platinum a week, which is massive, massive upgrades. So overall, pretty simple. And one last thing is I want to check out the events and the hero's journey. So we can see here, I've already done a little bit of the hero's journey. It looks like we have to kill Pit of Anguish, Mad King, Lassel. Looks like we have to difficulty 1, which is a little annoying. Spend 15,000 hilts. Now, this is actually very difficult to do. This is going to take us about a week or 2 weeks, depending on what, like, if you're in the Immortals or not. Battle Pass rank 20. Okay, so a lot of these are very time consuming, but looks like we're going to get some very simplistic stuff. Chapter 4 is 150 Paragon points, so we're not going to be able to do this until another couple of weeks. And then we're going to get a few legendary crests here. For me, I have a ton of hilts saved up. If we just check in my inventory, where is my hilt? You can see almost 20,000 myself. So pretty simple. And we have the last thing, which is the actual event. Oh, let me see this. And it's very simplistic, just some random salvage materials, and then at the end of the day, you're going to get a legendary crest, and you're going to do the same thing that you've done before: complete a dungeon, first kill of the day, 1 monstrous essence. Very, very simple. So overall, pretty cool, really nice update. I would highly suggest you test out the class change system. I know I was concerned there for a second, but it was just all a visual bug. I just went straight back to my previous class, and there's no problems. I'd highly recommend everyone give it a chance if you want, or if you're curious about another class. And I do want to just check here, are these legendaries, they're not salvageable. Very, very unfortunate. I was kind of hoping that they were. So no inherent advantage to class swapping as I initially was thinking, but still worth it if you're curious about another class. So there you have it. Let me know if you all are going to class change and what you think about it, because in my opinion, it's very smooth and there's almost no downside, except for the fact that you have to go farm your legendary items again. But hopefully that progress stays across each class. So again, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you for the next video.